Exciting, much more exciting than Debt Week. Asset Week contains 4 things. It is your bank accounts, your investment accounts, your money moving apps, because money moving apps may have money in those accounts, and any like hard physical assets, or I guess it could be EFT or the like crypto asset thing, but mostly it means jewelry, land, your house, those types, art, those types of assets. To make this simple for you, I was thinking about, there's 2 ways, here's my little cheat sheet. There's 2 ways to think about both your bank and your investment accounts. There's a minimalist way and there's a maximalist way. And one way is not better than the other. You just think about for yourself, what makes sense to your brain and what are you likely to keep up. Okay? The minimalist way is you take your bank account sheet, and we used 1 sheet per bank. So if you have accounts like the Michigan State Federal Credit Union, they get, if you have 1 account, 5 accounts, Michigan State Federal Credit Union gets 1 of these, and Bank of America gets 1 of these, and Fidelity gets 1 of these, no matter how many accounts. So we did 1 page per bank. So just at the top, it would say something like Chase. And then instead of an account number here, especially if you have multiple accounts, we wrote just LP. We wrote that it's in our password keeper. Again, don't use LastPass. But however you want people to access your account, you can write that right there. And then down here, we made a list of the accounts at that bank. So if you only have 1 account at Michigan State Federal Credit Union, for example, you could write Michigan State Federal Credit Union and write the account number in there, or 4 digits, and write checking down here, and you'd be done. That's the minimalist approach. Same thing if you had 5 accounts. Bank of America, checking, savings, Christmas Club, whatever you have, you'd write the 5 here. That is the minimalist approach. The maximalist approach is they intended that you would do 1 of these for each account, and then you would write in here anything that's automatically deducted from those accounts. So you'd make a list of, in our Bank of America account, our mortgage is deducted on the 15th in this amount. Our, Netflix is deducted from this account. You would just write all of that on this sheet. That is not something that Kevin and I did. We took the minimalist approach. Anything like the mortgage information, we put that on the debt sheet because that's being deducted from that account. But you could absolutely do that, and it would probably be useful to your next of kin. Okay. The money market, money moving apps is pretty self-explanatory. I don't have too much to say about that sheet other than reminding you, and I think, they have a nice list at the top of, some kind of thought starters to see if you have PayPal or Zelle or Venmo. Okay, investment account, same thing. The sheets look a little bit different. They have what type of investment account that is. So we wrote like Schwab at the top and then checked off what kind of account that was. We didn't fill in all of this because we just put that it's in our password keeper. But you want to give people a way to get to that bank account. Again, treasure map, the idea is we're giving people a map to your treasure, which is your assets or treasure. Which brings us to the last page, which is literally physical assets. So they have a list of the things for any real estate you own, any, tangible assets, purchase documents, appraisals, insurance policies. We covered vehicles and things like that last week in debt, but if you don't have any debt on your car, then it's definitely, you can go in the asset file. Or if you want car stuff in a totally separate file, that's fine too. Okay, these are just thought starters. I don't think we have anything in our asset sheets because we thought that those made more sense in other places. But if you have tangible assets, if you have like a jewelry appraisal, you could put it in here. Okay, the one thing that's on here that's very common, again, we don't have a safety deposit box, but having a safety deposit box is very common. And we met someone last weekend who just finished being an executor to his aunt's estate. And she had not one safety deposit box, but she had multiple. And he was laughing. He said something like, I'm not even sure that we ever got them all. Because you just kept finding like different bank accounts and then checking with the bank to see if they had safety deposit box and trying to figure that out. And it really highlighted that he would have really appreciated having a map to assets, that were being stored elsewhere. So, and they have a note there about where, if you have a boat stored someplace, noting where that storage facility is. Okay. If you have any questions, you can email me, Allie@allieirwin.com. You can go in the Facebook group, or you can come to the next co-working session and ask there. I hope this was helpful.